Hello, hello, creative souls. Happy Sunday. This is Des of DesireeEast.com, your transformational coach disguised as an artist, and welcome to today's Creative Rituals Live. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to use creativity and art making as a source of transformation, please subscribe to my channel if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Instagram, follow me and be sure to click on the notifications to see when we go live to stay in the loop. All right, so I'll just wait a couple of minutes to see if anyone shows up. If you're joining me live, go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat. I can see the chat both from YouTube and Instagram. So if you're there, say hi. I'd love to see who's out there watching and listening. And if you are not here because you couldn't make the live because of time constraints, I will have a replay available. So you're more than welcome to watch the replay. But I love doing the lives. That way I can get the energy of the group, and also if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, being here live is a great way to engage with me live. All right, so I'll just wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone comes while I shuffle the cards. Today we're going to do a pick a card and paint, as I started to do every week. Just taking this with my water. And I'm going to lay out 3 cards for you to choose from. So before I do that, I'd like to invite you to take a deep breath and let go of anything that was, just let go of your worries from the day or the morning, wherever you're calling or watching from around the world. Just kind of, let go of anything that's on your mind for the moment, any energy from the few hours that have already passed. Just kind of put that in a basket and put it aside for now so that we can connect together while we do these intuitive readings. Okay. So before we begin, I'd like to invite you to not only let go of what has, let go of your morning or your day, just kind of let all those worries roll off your shoulders. So sit in a comfortable space in your chair, if you're sitting in your chair, and just ground yourself. So we're going to take a deep inhale in and exhale. Another deep inhale in and exhale, and let any worries or anxiety kind of melt into the ground. Just let everything, all the energy, roll off of your shoulders and melt into the ground. And let it go down through your body, all the way down through your chakra root into the earth, and know that Mother Earth is here to support you, just as gravity is here to support you. And we're going to call in on our guides of light, our ancestors of light, archangels, to come and guide us now. Okay, take another inhale in and exhale. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Hi, Teresa. Nice to see you here. It's been so long. Welcome, welcome. So we are going to draw some cards, and before we do, I'd like to think about the energies of the full moon that we are coming into. So tomorrow's going to be a full moon, and the full moon is a great way to let go of anything that is no longer serving you. So a lot of times when it comes to manifesting things in your life and creating a life that you love, a lot of it has to do also with obstacles that might be in your way or things that might be stopping you from getting the things that you want. And a lot of times that has to do with also letting go of things in your life that no longer serve you. Those are the things that get in the way, things that hold you back, any fears or doubts, anything that prevents you from moving forward. We got to get rid of that energy, and giving that to these full moon energies is a great way to do that. So when we pull our cards today, I'd like you to hold that in your mind and heart. Just kind of, before we start, think about something that you want to manifest in your life. And also think about that one thing that you can let go of. What is it that you need to release, to let go of, in order to move forward with the thing that you want? So any negative blocks, self-doubt, anything that might be a distraction, or anything that is, you feel that thing that's holding you back, hold that in your mind right now. And I'd like you to think about that while I pull the cards today. And that's the thing that you're going to connect to the cards as you move forward. So I want you to have that obstacle or barrier in your mind, that thing that you want to let go of. Take a deep breath. Inhale that in. And just as we did when we grounded ourselves, I want you to release that. So release that energy either out into the air surrounding you, into the ground, into the earth, grounding you, whatever works for you. Just kind of think of that thing that you need to let go of, and just kind of let it go. Let it float away. And if you need more time to do that, there's many other things that you can do to kind of practice the art of letting go. So you can write it down if you need to on a piece of paper for now. If for some reason you're having a hard time releasing it right away, you can write it down on a piece of paper. So go ahead and do that if you need to, and fold it up. Later on, you could either tear it up into little pieces or burn it in a safe burn bowl. Okay, whatever you need to do, just kind of write it down or breathe into it and let it go. Okay, so I'm going to choose 3 cards. You're going to get to pick 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Pick from 3 cards. And then I'll also draw a card for the Creative Collective. Okay, and I've got some crystals here that have been cleansed. So card 1 is going to be this citrine. Card 2 will be this clear quartz. And card 3, this amethyst. Okay, so before you pick your card, I'd like you to think about an outcome or something that you need to know about at this moment. So what do I need to know about XYZ at this moment? Or you can simply just look at a card or a crystal and see what's drawn to you right now to receive any messages that you need to receive today. Okay, so take a moment to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead while you think about the card that you want to choose, either 1, 2, or 3. I'll go ahead and flip the card for the Creative Collective. And for the Creative Collective, I got the 9 of Cups. So this is all about progression and milestones. And I think for the collective right now, we're definitely feeling, this change that's going on, this progress, a lot of change and progress that's going on in the world. And as a creative collective, for sure, as creators, we are definitely in that space of progressing and creating the things that we needed to make changes, to create milestones, to make changes in the world. So that's the card right now for the Creative Collective. And again, as with how I approach the intuitive readings and the intuitive paintings. We will look at the cards, start creating with the artwork, and sink into our creative, intuitive wisdom, and we'll find some more insights that are related to the cards that we drew today. Okay, so Nine of Cups for the collective, and of course the cups also meaning and relating to emotion. So how are we using and connecting to our emotions as we, make these changes and progress? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the cards over for each of these cards. So if you've chosen your cards, wonderful. You could also see what I flipped over and see what resonates with you too. And you can also do a combination of things once we start the painting. Okay, so for the first card, we have the citrine. And we've got the Six of Staffs. And this is all about perseverance and in relation to what is it in your mind, in your life that you are working at right now. So what are you persevering in? There's something that you've been working on for a while, and something is calling to you to keep working on that thing, that perseverance, right? And this also has to relate with the spirit. So the staffs is all about, it's something that's connected to your higher calling and your purpose, your soul purpose. How is this in relation to the question that you were seeking today? What is it that is calling to you? Okay. For the clear quartz, card number 2, I have the Three of Pentacles. All right. So for me, the threes represent creativity, and creativity, pentacles in the physical form. So this has to do with creativity in the sense of how are you using your creativity and bringing things into the material world. So this has to do with maybe bringing money into your world. It might be connected to career or your business. Okay, this is all related to the physical world. Okay, the first card I drew had to do with, your spiritual connection, and this is all about the physical and how are you creating these things to manifest into your physical world. So money, your business, career, that kind of thing, your house, your home. Okay. Number 3 is the quartz, and we have the Knight of Staffs. Okay, so this is all about action. What action are you inviting into your life, or what action do you need to take in order to move forward, or in order to get the outcome that you need? And again, this is related to the staff. So again, spirit. There's something going on in regards to your spiritual journey, your soul journey, that soul connection and purpose that has to do with some sort of action that needs to be taken. And Knight is, he's on a horse and he wants to take action. So what is it about the outcome or question that you ask that has to relate to that? And again, going back to the full moon and letting go of obstacles or negative blocks or self-doubt. How is that coming in relation to the cards that you picked? And with the full moon energies of having to let go of those things, that way you can move forward with the things that you want to manifest. Okay, so that's how we're going to look at our cards today. If that is calling and you're resonating with that, let me know. This is a great starting point, and as we move along with our painting and our intuitive tuition, more messages will come up. So I'm going to put these here so everyone can see. So that's the Six of Staffs. Again, I'll repeat it one last time. So Six of Staffs, all about perseverance, working towards something and relating to your spiritual journey. at the moment, or your higher purpose in life. Okay, so that was the Six of Staffs, and that's related to, or it was, I had the aventurine, I'm sorry, the citrine on that one. Okay, and the second card, if you chose the second card, the clear quartz, we have the Three of Pentacles. And again, this is all about bringing your creativity into your material life. So as opposed to your spiritual life, what and how are you using your creative gifts to manifest things that are coming into your life in physical form? So that could be money, your business, your career, anything that has to do with your home, all the physical things in relation to your creativity and how you bring that about. That's what the Three of Pentacles is about. Okay. And card number 3 was the Staff of Knights. So that was the amethyst stone, if you're drawn to that. So the Knight is all about taking action. And going back to the staffs, this has some sort of relation to do with your higher purpose or your spiritual journey, maybe even spiritual healing. So taking action upon that and moving forward. Okay. And I hope we can see all that now. And again, for the Creative Collective, for everybody, I drew the Nine of Cups. And this is about progression and milestones. So this is speaking of our world progress and milestones as a collective. How are we coming together? And with the cups, it's all about emotions. How are we doing that in relation to our emotions? And for me, that also has to do with doing it in a responsibly way, right? I'm always talking about being a peacemaker, and for the world to heal, I think being a peacemaker has a lot to do with our emotions and how we carry those emotions, not only for ourselves and the world, but for our children as well, because they are the future generations. So how are we modeling that, our emotions, and as we progress as a creative collective? All right, so those are the jumping points to start off with your painting journey. So today I have a wood panel that I'm working with. I ran out of watercolor paper because my daughter has been having so much fun doing watercolor, but I have these wood panels that I've been wanting to paint on, and this is already prepped. So I bought this from Michael's, but I also prepped it myself because it's just raw wood. So what I did to prep was I applied some clear medium adhesive, not adhesive, but I put some clear coat on here so that the paint, if I choose to do watercolors, doesn't bleed through the wood grain. And then on top of that, I laid a clear gesso so that you can see through. And then I sanded it. So the reason why I'm doing that is because the reason why I prepped it is because I wasn't sure if I was going to use watercolors. And if I did, I didn't want the paint to bleed through the wood grain. But today I'm probably most likely going to do mixed media. So I have my watercolors out, and I also have my acrylic paints behind me. And so we'll see where this takes us, okay? All right, so before we start, I'd like you to think about the thing that you want to let go of. So giving that thing that you want to let go of, the thing that's no longer serving you, giving you that up to the full moon energies. The moon is there to serve us in that way and also light the way, especially on the full moon, lighting the way in the darkness. And think about the things that you need to let go in relation to the cards that we drew today. Again, you can choose only one card if you'd like to. You can just work on the Creative Collective, or you can do a combination of whatever you feel called to. Sometimes, most of the time, that's what I do when I'm doing my own personal reading. So you don't have to stick to one card. If you chose card number 1, for example, you don't have to choose to that. If there's another card or message that's speaking to you, please, by all means, connect with those cards. That's what it's all about. And that's the beautiful thing about creativity, is that we get to create whatever we want, and that's everything to do with life too. You're not stuck to one thing. Okay, so take out your journals, a canvas, watercolor. If you're doodling, if you have nothing today, just get out a scratch piece of paper and doodle. Doodling is the most simple, beautiful way to connect to your intuitive wisdom. And I doodle all the time. And the end result that I want for today is for you to connect to that creative part of you. So whether it's doodle, something as simple as doodling or writing. Hi, Caitlin. I just saw you pop up. Welcome, welcome. Caitlin's a writer, so writing is a beautiful way to tap into your creativity, and especially stream of conscious writing. So you know that type of writing that you do when you're journaling. So think of the questions that you are connecting to today and write about it. Just keep writing. If that's all you have time for, that's great. That's perfect. Okay. And I would allow yourself, a good 15 minutes. You can take 15 minutes out of your day to do these practices. You don't have to do what I do and, lock yourself in the studio for hours on end. Although it's super fun, but you could just doodle and write for 15 minutes. That's all you need. Okay, so this is going to be really fun. I'm going to lay some watercolor down to see how this wood panel takes it. And I might start with purple. For some reason, I'm being drawn to that color right now. And I'm just going to see how that lays down. So, interesting. It's kind of repelling, and not the gesso that I laid down isn't really grabbing the watercolor. And I suspected that would happen. And that's why I grabbed my acrylic paints, but that's okay. I'm just gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna keep doing that and see what happens. So right now, I'm just gonna scribble, if you will, on my canvas. You could scribble or start doodling on your piece of paper or your watercolor or your journal, whatever you have, and just kind of let go. We're speaking of letting go today, of perfection or having to be right or having to have a plan. Okay, so we're just gonna let our left brain, our logical left brain, the planner, the analytical part, just kind of do its thing. So right now it's like, oh, my watercolor is not working. I'm giving you an example. What am I going to do? Oh my gosh, I don't have a plan. That's my logical brain. It's got this fear and doubt, but I'm just going to let that go, continue what I'm doing, and you'll feel that switch. You'll feel that shift after 10 minutes or so of your creative side, your right brain. You'll feel it kicking in, and you're going to feel that feeling of, you know what, it's okay, it's all good, because everything is good. The universe has my back. We have to practice that mindset. We don't have to, but it's a wonderful mindset to practice and know that, life could be messy, things can be unplanned, and that's okay. There's this bigger thing that's got your back, and you may not see it. And in relation to your intuition and your right brain hemisphere, we're tapping into that part of our brain that already knows the answers. So this is interesting. So I have created this beautiful mess. I'm not sure where it's going to go. And the wood paneling, because I prepped it and put a clear gloss over it and a clear gesso layer, it's kind of doing something funky with the watercolor, which I kind of suspected it will. And it might be because, so now I'm talking about the art techniques, is that I may have to do another layer of gesso to create that matte feeling so that it absorbs the watercolor. But actually it's turning out really beautiful. I like the effect that it's having. And it's probably taking a minute to soak in too. So there we go. And that's the beautiful thing about intuitive painting. I say this all the time. You guys are probably, for those of you that know me, are probably sick of me saying it, but I'm going to remind you again. The beautiful thing about intuitive art is that it's all about using your intuition and going with that flow once it starts to kick in. Okay. So let's just let that sit for a minute. Okay. How's everyone doing? Okay. So now I'm going to take a break for a minute, and I'm just speaking through my process, sharing my process, how I do my intuitive paintings and my intuitive readings and making that connection. So right now I'm just taking a minute and looking at what I have laid down. I'm thinking about the thing that I need to let go of. For me, I'm going to share, I didn't share it earlier, but for example, for me, I am in transition with my business. And as a mama, I'm always, ever since I've become a mom, I've been wanting to streamline my business because as a business owner, an entrepreneur, I have so much on my plate, and as a mother who's mothering full-time at home, full-time with the nanny's help, it's still like too much. And lately, my brain kind of looks like this canvas right now. It's just kind of all mushy all over the place. It's very foggy. I've had a lot of foggy brain issues lately that's related to sleep because I haven't been getting much sleep because I stay up late at night because that's the only time I have quiet time and time to think for myself. And so I've been staying up late. So I wake up groggy brain. See what I mean? I can't even talk. Groggy brained. And I feel like kind of like what the canvas looks like pretty much most of the day. And I'm just like foggy brain. And a lot of it has to do with me trying to simplify things and finding that space for me to breathe as a business owner. Okay, so now I'm speaking from a place of my business. So I need to let go, like technically, like right now in my business, I'm trying to let go. Taking inventory of all of the apps that I'm using and on my website, and I'm literally at the moment transferring content from one website to another so that it could be all in one space. So it's been taking a lot of work, and also as you know, I do have another business, a landscape and design business. I'm going to start painting again, and we are in transition for that too. So my husband and I, we're getting ready for the housing market. Our business was directly affected in 2008, 2009 from the housing market, and you know, we want to prepare ourselves for whatever comes our way. So we're doing our due diligence and actually preparing for that as well. So we're looking at the real estate market and doing all these other things behind the scenes, and I have to create room for that also. So I need to let go. So now I'm adding some acrylic paints. I need to let go of these apps. Like, so these are, okay, so this is all about the pentacles, the physical thing. So I need to, in my business, I need to let go literally of these apps and uh, this other website that's no longer serving me. And in order to do that, I need to be okay with letting go of it. And I was telling my husband, as a business owner, okay, who's on here? Caitlin's a business owner. Teresa, you're a business owner. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome, welcome. So if you're an entrepreneur, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you go through this rabbit hole of oh, what apps do I need? What websites do I need? And you end up subscribing to and purchasing all these things that you think is going to make your life better, but in a sense, you're wasting time trying to manage these things, right? So I don't have the time to manage any of these things. And anyways, I was telling my husband, it's like I want to let go of this thing that's not no longer serving me business wise, but I feel like I'm breaking up with a boyfriend. I know that's how it feels like. So I have this emotional attachment to this app, which sounds kind of ridiculous, but it served me so well, and it's got so many great features, and it's just an awesome, awesome, awesome uh, thing that I use. I'm not going to name names right now because, anyways, but if you want to know the name, DM me and I'll tell you what I'm going through and maybe it could help. But anyways, yeah, I just feel like, oh my gosh, this thing has served me so well for so long, but in reality, it's taking me too much time to manage. So there's the maintenance part. And right now I don't have a team to help me manage that. And yeah, it's just high maintenance. My high maintenance boyfriend, I gotta get rid of him. It's not funny. So anyways, that's where I'm at. And that's what I need to let go of. I need to let go of thinking that I can't move forward with the rest of my business without having to let go of this other thing. I hope that makes sense. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm laying down some acrylic onto the parts where the wood panel was repelling the watercolor. So this acrylic, the reason why I'm doing that is the acrylic is thicker in pigmentation, and I think it's gonna allow itself to adhesive glue itself can't think of the word right now onto the board. But I really love that it's repelling because you can still see the wood grain. And part of the reason why I'm using a wood panel is because I still want to use I still want to see those parts. So if you're using a wood panel, if you ever do in the future, another thing you could do if you want to continue seeing the behind the grain, you could take a watercolor, a rag or a paper towel like I am and just kind of do that. And as you do these things, remember you can keep the things that you want. If there's something that you really love, there's some marks that you really love, just keep it on there, okay? And I could see, if you want to, you can even use like a dry paintbrush tip, sorry about that glare right there, and lift either the paint or the watercolor out, and it can make a really cool texture while you do so. Okay, so I'm just kind of randomly doing that where I see fit. And I might blend some of this in. Cool. All right. That's part of the creative process, right? Just like our cards. We keep what we want, we let go of what we don't need. And if we need it, we can always call it back in, right? Okay. So got that. Hi, Kat. Nice to see you. Hi, Nova. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to keep painting. And for those of you that just joined, so far we talked about the Creative Collective, the Nine of Cups, and that is about the world. So when I pull for the Creative Collective, I'm thinking about the world, everybody that's creative, everyone's creative, but how we use our creativity and to make progress. So the Nine of Cups is all about progress and our emotions. How do we bring our emotions into the collective in a responsible way to create progress in a peaceful way? So a lot of my work revolves around not only creating peace, inner peace, but peace for the collective. So being a peacemaker in that sense and using your creativity for good. um, the first card number 1, was the Six of Staffs, and that's all about perseverance in relation to your soul journey, your spiritual journey, or maybe even your higher purpose in life. What is it that you're connecting that with in regards to, growth, spiritual growth? Um, and again, we're connecting to the full moon today. So in order to manifest these things and connect this with these things, what do you need to let go of in order for these things to happen? We have to let go of those things and look at those things. Three of Pentacles was card number 2, clear quartz. The Three of Pentacles is all about the physical things in your life, the material world. So, and 3 with creativity. How are you using your creative gifts to bring in money, wealth? If you're a business owner, how are you going to bring your creativity into build your business? Okay, this might even have to do with your home. So anything that has to do with your physical material world is all about the Three of Pentacles and using your creativity to manifest those things that you like. And last card, number 3, the Knight of Staffs. So this is, it was the amethyst. So the Knight of Staffs is all about taking action, and this is in relation to your spiritual journey again. So taking action in regards to your higher purpose, your higher calling, that thing that is bigger than you. How is that in relation right now to something that you need to let go of in order for you to do that, to serve your higher purpose? Okay, is this all making sense? I know I'm talking fast, but this is just the downloads that I'm getting right now, and I'm going to continue painting so that you can see my painting process as well. And as I go about this, my intuition is kicking into high gear right now. So if you've seen any of my videos before, you'll see that happening. Sometimes when I get a download, I'll start talking all fast like that, and then sometimes you'll hear and see that I slow down and my mind starts to slow down also. And that's the meditative part. So if you are familiar with a meditation is all about, connecting to that part of you, your quiet mind, your inner peace, right? And connecting with those messages of your higher self that's trying to serve you, right? We all have this thing that we're trying to connect to, and sometimes it's hard to get those messages when we are distracted by external factors. External factors meaning the internet, social media, or the news, or even family or children. We're so easily distracted by so many things right now, and we live in a world that is fast-paced and go, go, go. And sometimes, most times, we need those moments to connect to our higher selves and our intuition. Okay. So, again, I have no plan with this painting, and I'm just going along my intuition. I'm kind of leaving marks. Like right here, I see a cool effect happening on this corner. I don't know if you see that, but the watercolor and the acrylic is blending in and bleeding into this wooden space on the wooden panel. And again, if you're just joining in, I'm going fancy today with the wood panel, but if you don't have anything fancy, doodle, watercolor, or journal. Those are wonderful ways to connect with your intuition. I might add some magenta. I feel like this is going bright with the wood paneling. I don't know, let's see. So I'm adding more, I'm gonna add some more of my acrylic here. I might water it down a bit. And not watery enough. Do some splashes, some blots. See where that takes us. Okay. All right, so you hear me quieting down, and that's going to happen to you too. So whether you're writing or doodling, once your right brain kicks in, it's basically telling you to stop, breathe. Your nervous system switches from fight or flight to that calm, relaxing state. And what I love to meditate when I have the time. I live on the beach and fortunately have that time to go out, connect with my Mother Nature, and have that quiet time when I ask for it. But sometimes meditation isn't for everybody because you sit there, you're quiet, and then all of a sudden all these thoughts come to mind, and it takes some practice to get through those thoughts. And it's the same way with painting. So when you start your painting, you think that you need a plan, but you don't. And the creative process allows you to slip into that creative, meditative space, so that you can start listening to what your intuition is telling you. I think I might go for some darker green. Okay. So this green that I'm going to add is phthalocyanine green, and I'm just using basics, Liquitex basics, but it's a transparent color. So with acrylic paint, you have opaque pigments where you can't see through it, and then you have transparent pigments. So this green has a transparent quality, and I'm going to see what happens when I blend it in to these yellow edges. Let's see what happens. But yeah, you can still see through the wood grain. Love that. And the yellow that I use also, this yellow here, this is a cadmium yellow, is also transparent. So when I mix the two, like you can still see the wood grain behind the two colors. And even when you mix it, it stays transparent. Now, once I blend it with an opaque pigment, the opacity will change and it'll become non-see-through. I hope that makes sense. Any questions or anything while Kat, you're journaling? Awesome. I know last time Kat was here, she was sharing some beautiful, well, she shared with me through her DM some beautiful vegan recipes. She was making some vegan food while we were creating, and that's a creative act for sure. Cooking is a highly creative act, especially if you're making things from scratch. But you notice that, right? If you're in the kitchen, so if you love to be in the kitchen, do you notice that? How relaxing it is to cook? It's one of the most creative acts you could do. Cooking and then sharing it with family and friends. So I'm just kind of making these marks, letting things blend where they are. I really love how the magenta is bleeding. I don't know if I'm using, not bleeding, but it's just kind of like making itself merry with the wood. Okay. I can feel myself shifting from left brain to right brain. Like, oh, I don't have a plan. Where am I going? But uh, that shall pass. Okay, how's everybody doing? All right, so what card did you choose? Can you share what card you're drawn to this morning? I'm curious. Was it a combination of all four, or a combination of just a few of them, or did you just pick one card to work with today? I'm curious. So I'm choosing to work with, right now, I didn't particularly choose a specific card, but for sure, I think for me, I definitely need a lot of letting go today with the full moon. So for sure, the Three of Pentacles is speaking to me because it has to do with my business. And of course, it's in relation also to my soul path because, you know, if you're an entrepreneur um, and you're doing something that you love, it's connected to your passion. Of course, that's all connected, right? How are we expressing our souls to the world in a way that is serving others? That's definitely, if you're an entrepreneur, I'm guessing that you became an entrepreneur because you want to share that part of you. Okay. So what part of your spiritual gifts are you sharing with the world and bringing into your business? As a mama, how are you relating that side of you to support your family and modeling it for your children? You know, it's funny, we think that our soul connection and our purpose, well, not everybody, but it's hard. It's sometimes, you know, it's easy to delineate your soul purpose with your career and the expression that you put out into the world. But I think if you have a chance to make that connection, even if you're working for someone else, you know, you don't have to own a business. Like, how are you bringing your spirit and your soul purpose as a peacemaker, as someone who's, you know, wants to have a progressive world, right? How are you bringing that energy into your work? So even if you're working for someone else, that soul connection and modeling it for other people, in what ways can you do that? So now I am just making these marks with white. There we go. I love circles. Circles are symbolic of completion and unity. So if we're looking at the creative collective, how can we unify? How can we come together in unity in a peaceful way, using our emotions in a positive way with responsibility as we create change in the world? How are we bringing that soul connection to that? Unity, completion, balance. And, you know, we're speaking of the moon today, so that full moon energy. What do you think of when you think of the full moon? What kind of energy does it bring to you? I know that when the full moon is here, it's so strong that in the physical world, it affects tides, and farmers plan their crops around the full moon. It's a powerful, powerful energy, and it's so powerful that it even affects our emotions. So I don't know about you, but I know I'm up in the middle of the night when there's a full moon. Guaranteed. I'm up with that energy because I can't sleep, and sometimes I could feel that energy throughout the day with my little 5-year-old and my husband. I'm flipping my my canvas around to see if I can get a different perspective and try to balance things out. Sometimes I'll flip things around to like change things up a bit. Okay. So let's see here. Sometimes I get tired of looking at the same thing, so I'll have to like turn it around. Okay, there we go. Nice and messy. All right. It's almost like feathery, the edges. There we go. Okay. I might, I might bring back some more of that purple, the watercolor. I think I might just, I started with that beautiful violet purplish watercolor color, but I think I'm going to stick with the acrylics because of how I saw the watercolor behave with the primer that I set down. So, let's see here. Actually, before this dries, I'm going to grab my paper towel and see if I can expose some of this wood from behind the scenes. All right, so maybe right there. And I can also reactivate the watercolor in some of those spaces, and even sometimes the acrylic paint, reactivate it and then expose some of that wood. So I'm going to do that right now. My paper towel is a little bit damp, and I might just go like that. Like that, maybe right here. It's like an eraser, and I'm keeping the things that I like. Maybe right here. So you can see some parts have already dried, so I'm trying to grab the things that are still wet. And if some of it dried, that's okay. I might leave it because that will create a really neat effect also. So I'm not totally attached, right? This is all about letting go today. Letting go. I almost started singing Let It Go. Disney. Not gonna do it. Nope. Not gonna do it. Okay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know, I've got it on replay all the time. And this is my time. This is mommy time. All right. If you have any favorite tunes, you're more than welcome to turn those tunes on in your background because I can't hear your mic. So So you're more than welcome to listen to music while we paint. I do all the time. That's what gets me in the mood. Ooh, cool. Okay, I might grab some of this. There we go. Very cool, very cool. I like how this is turning out. I'm shaping my paper towel so that I can grab some of the paint and water around the circle that I created. So I'm going to do that right there. Okay. Interesting, eh? And lifting some of that. Okay. Let's see where else this takes us. This is a journey. I always look at the canvas as a journey. Okay. There we go. And maybe just this little center here. Okay, there we go. So now I can see some of that wood paneling still. All right. So I'm going to pause and take a look at what I have and look back at my cards, our cards, and think about the question that I posed for myself today in regards to streamlining my business so that I could, number one, focus on the other transition that we're going through with our other business in relation to the housing market, but also more importantly, what do I need to let go of so that as a business person, I can still be attentive to my 5-year-old as a mother and as a homeschooler. I know I'm not the only mom that has a lot going on at home right now with COVID and lockdowns and staying at home. It's a lot to handle. And, sometimes, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, it's been freaking overwhelming. So, letting go of that overwhelm. And a lot of the overwhelm that I'm finding as a mother and as a business owner has to do, and a homeschooler has to do with perfectionism and having these expectations that are way high and to let go of that. So I have a mentor that I've been working with, Anne. Hi, Elena. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. One of my mentors, Elena is one of my mentors too. She's awesome. If you need a self-care coach, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Elena, thank you, thank you. But another mentor that I'm working closely with right now at the moment is Anne Samilov. And basically, I was telling her the other day that I have this thing about achievement. I used to be an honor student and did really well for a school person. For I thrive on thriving. How's that? I thrive on achievement, and a lot of my worth, my self-worth, comes from that. And if I'm not achieving something or making goals for myself, I sometimes feel like a failure. And when I say it out loud, and when I say it out loud now, and when I say it out to my mentors, it's like, what? What are you talking about? Your self-worth is not like, who's to say that's true? That your self-worth is all about how much you achieve. So as a homeschooling mother right now in the midst of COVID, and as a business owner and just trying to survive, I have these expectations of what my day is supposed to look like and what we're supposed to achieve during that week. And realistically, it's unrealistic. And I have to be okay with that. And it takes a lot of practice to let go of that perfectionist side as an entrepreneur and mom and be okay with things being a little messy right now, just like my painting right now, right? We go through these phases in life that we hope for the best, and of course we want amazing